That's Maria Larsson, and she is running with the track team for the first time in her life. She was the #2 runner on the cross-country team as a freshman. She's from Sweden. They don't have track teams in Sweden.
Hey, turn up the volume, my dad.
She's come to a much warmer place.
She has. And
look at the total start list there, and just for keeping score at home, Elvin Kibet will be wearing bib number 33 and Larsson bib number 35 as the race unfolds. Women's 1,500 meters underway here at the Sun Devil Invitational. Absolutely perfect conditions. 9 universities represented. 3 from the Pac-12, Arizona State, Arizona, Utah. 3 from the Big Ten, Iowa, Illinois, and Nebraska. And both Iowa, Illinois, and Nebraska have already had an impact. And then the visitors come all the way across the country from Manhattan, South Dakota State, and Adams State in Colorado.
And Larsson came and made an impact right away at the University of Arizona when she came out here in the fall. She was the #2 runner in cross country behind Elvin Kibet. And then she was 3rd at the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation. That's like the Pac-12 indoor, if you would, conference. So she was 3rd place there, and she's very comfortably right now in 2nd place. Kibet more in the middle of the pack. She's a 5:10K runner, running lower distance. That's what they do this time of year, Paul. They either sharpen up by running shorter distance if you're a distance runner, or if you're a sprinter, you run the long sprints as opposed to the short sprints. 69.2 on the opening 400 as Larsson leads.
And Larsson taking the lead once again, wearing bib number 35 and taking over the lead from teammate Kate Penny, who was 9th at the Pac-12 championships last year.
And they're running an honest pace. Larsson taking it out. The temperature about high 70s, but she's obviously been training in the heat.
How about the position right now, given this pack of Kibet? She is so diminutive, it's almost hard to find her in there among the other runners.
It's a good point, and you wonder what kind of shape she's in for a short distance race like this. I don't anticipate she'll be beating Larsson, and she's also running to the outside on the shoulders of the other athletes. You really don't want to have to run any more distance than you have to in these races, which can be determined by tenths of a second. So when you run outside the line or on the inside of the next lane, you're actually doing a lot more work than is really necessary. So I'm not sure why she's doing this. She's a very experienced athlete. And of course, coached by James Lee, who also coaches Bernard Legat, who is a volunteer assistant coach here at the University of Arizona.
So Maria Larsson in the lead, followed by Katie Penny, and Arizona well represented up front. Stephanie Boulder there as well. It's a good group of middle distance runners for the University of Arizona.
And ironically, Stephanie Boulder and Arizona State's Chelsea Totten, they raced against each other for 3 years in high school. They both come from the Santa Clarita Valley, and here they're going at it again here in this meet.
Well, look at practice sessions at Arizona. Looking at this field right now must be pretty intense, be it cross country or not, as Elvin Kibet is moving up to 4th and figuring out her strategy over the last lap and about maybe 500 meters to go.
Yeah, and now you know why Arizona was finished 2nd at the NCAA cross country as a team. These guys really know how to train, and James Lee really knows how to coach and get these athletes prepared, not only for this time of year, but the big time of conference meets and national championships.
So Kate Penny takes the bell, followed closely behind by Maria Larsson, and also there as well. 3 Wildcats at the front of this women's 1,500 meters. Elvin Kibet there as well.
And by the way, 3:15 with a lap to go, so it's a very, very honest pace. They're going to run in the 4:20s. Maria Larsson surprisingly falling off the pace. And Kate Penny looking very good for this time of season. Look at her open up, and it's going to be hard for Elvin Kibet to narrow that down. And also Elisa Schneider from Illinois making a move on the backstretch.
Elisa Schneider indeed coming up on Kibet.
And of course, it's so early in the season, you really don't know where the athletes are in their training, especially somebody like Larsson that's coming off indoor as well and tapering down. But I'll tell you one thing, Kate Penny is in terrific shape right now and looks very, very strong coming down the stretch here.
Yeah, this is a nice run by Kate Penny. She had the lead early, had it taken over by Maria Larsson. Larsson has since dropped off the pace pretty significantly, but almost from wire to wire, Kate Penny of Arizona, 9th at last year's Pac-12 championships, will take it, followed by Elisa Schneider of Illinois.
And I think Elvin Kibet can be pretty happy finishing 3rd. Again, this is a severe underdistance for her.
Tom, we talk about the transition from indoors, and you think about the sprinters for the most part, going from 60 meters to 100. But when you talk about the distance runners, is it also a big transition?
I would say it's even bigger, and it's a periodization of your training, because in indoors, you're peaking for the NCAAs or the Mountain Pacific. Then you've got to go back and train hard, Paul, because the season from here is a 3 month marathon. So you need to train through these races. So you've got to back off your training for the indoor championships, ramp up your training again, and not peak until the end of May and early June.
Very nice performance by the University of Arizona. Kate Penny wins it in 4:21.88. We'll be back with more track and field from Arizona State right after this. The men's 4x100 relay.
Sweet.